There are two ways of looking at this. One, the BJP has a royal mess on its hands. Their own old-timers coming out against some of the new imports into the party. The other is, there is such a strong demand for BJP tickets that people are going all out, breaking all protocol and norms, demanding that they be given a BJP ticket. Shishir Bajoria, which one is it? Because the Trinamool will say how, in comparison with the BJP, the Trinamool was able to put out its tickets in one go. Some seats had to be changed later, 5 assembly seats they changed the candidate, but none of the drama that we're seeing outside BJP offices.
Well, it's very clear, Rahul. First of all, this time around, for each of the 294 seats, there were more than 20 people really wanting it, because everybody is sensing victory, number one. So what happens if, let's assume it's 20, 19 will be disappointed. Out of the 19, a few were not able to hold themselves. I will not shy away from admitting there were, on day one, there was some issues. I was in Hastings' office when I saw the protest. By the way, when the protesters, I was talking to them, there were many protesters who did not even know for which assembly they were protesting. They were professional protesters. And you know what I'm indicating. From day two,
sorry, I don't understand what you're indicating. Just spell it out. Spell it out for our viewers. What is it that you're indicating?
I will spell it out. They were hired protesters brought in by who else than our opponents, because they did not even know which assembly seat they were protesting for. They did not know. And day two and day three, it's quiet. And I'm saying that there were some people who were really disappointed, and they did protest. There's no two ways. I cannot deny that there were no protests. But see what happens. Day two, day three, it's quiet today.
Biswajit, there, the BJP accuses you brought these hired professional protesters to protest and ransack BJP offices so as to create the spectre of disquiet within the BJP?
Nobody on the earth will believe these lies. You see, this is the actual trend of BJP. This is the reason why I earlier said that it is the reason of the outcome of the infighting amongst the BJP, which is the cause of violence in West Bengal. The BJP is fighting amongst themselves, and this violence, you see, which has apparently been very much clear after the tickets for the assembly had been announced. It is an openly they have come out in the streets. They are vandalizing the entire party offices. They are burning the effigies. They are tearing their flags. They are doing everything possible. So whatever violence we are seeing in Bengal and whatever BJP is alleging against the TMC is nothing else but the outcome of their infighting. It's a total outcome of their infighting.
No, but Kanchan Gupta, you've seen the BJP at close quarters for many decades. Now, typically, one second, gentlemen.
I request you for a 5-second interjection.
I'm coming
Rahul,
back.
A 5-second intervention.
Okay, Shishir Bajoria, 5 seconds. Well, one second. Everybody can't. 5 seconds, Shishir Bajoria, go on.
Very, very short. And this is direct to Biswajit Babu. Biswajit Babu, you may not agree with me. No issue. Dispute what I'm saying. Never say I lie. Biswajit Babu, thank you.
Okay, Kanchan Gupta, typically...
Whatever story, 1 minute, let me reply. Whatever story you are putting up in front of the viewers is not at all correct. It is not at all truth. You know very well that this is not a truth.
Okay, I am the moderator of this debate and I won't be shouted down. And I will still steer the direct conversation in the direction we need to go. Kanchan Gupta, you've seen dissent in the BJP in different states. Ordinarily, if somebody who comes from a hardcore BJP RSS background is upset, their typical style of operation is to stay at home. Haath kheench lete hain chunav se. Don't go out and campaign actively. They're sitting, they're sulking, they're not really out there, blood and sweat and toil, campaigning for the BJP. These are unusual scenes. It's because of some of the kind of caste and characters the BJP is imported that BJP's own offices are now being vandalized by its own supporters.
No, Rahul, couple of points. When you use words like massive outrage, dissent in Bengal or whatever, rebellion in Bengal, it would mean as if something sweeping through the state. But when it comes to counting the number of constituencies, your reporter could only count up, I think, 6 or 7 constituencies. So that is the real scale of whatever problem the BJP is facing. How the BJP wishes to handle it is it's for the BJP to decide. But let me tell you, and I don't mean it as a very flippant comment, but every time there is, when is there a great expectation for tickets? When that ticket is seen to be a winning ticket. And that factor would be at play in West Bengal also to a certain extent. To a larger extent, I have reason to believe that some of the shouting, some of the sloganeering is also sponsored and motivated. So I don't want to get into that zone, because I don't think problems in 6 or 7 constituencies are going to decide the outcome of this election. I want to make a larger point. This attempt to try and diminish the gruesomeness of political violence by airily dismissing it as something to do with inner party politics and factional politics, that shows the moral bankruptcy of the ruling party. Even if I were to accept the argument that when Amit Shah spoke to your reporter, the tally stood at 130. Since then, I believe 2 more BJP workers or those associated with the BJP have been killed. So 132 people have been killed in a particular state during a particular period of time. Now, if all 132 have been killed because of inner party politics or factional politics, why is it that the police, the much acclaimed, the much hallowed police of West Bengal could not come up with evidence to put it on the BJP, to pin it on the BJP that your people killed your people?